1 million injecting drug users in the MENA region. Here we're talking about 20 countries. There is a scaling up of services and the new countries that are adopting or at least considering harm reduction strategy programs.
Are young people in Lebanon aware of the risks of HIV and other infectious diseases?
They don't see themselves as up to this, so they think that they're not going to get any disease. I met 2 days ago a young lady in a prison in Lebanon, and she was saying that she has hepatitis C as well as her sister. And she was saying that when we started shooting heroin, my sister and I thought that we will only share needles with each other so that we don't contract hepatitis C or don't contract HIV. But at the end of the day, we didn't know that one of us had it. So sharing these needles made us all, like, we transferred this virus to each other.
Say you show up in a pharmacy and say, I'm going to inject no matter what and I need clean needles. That's a guarantee that you're not going to get it.
To be sincere, we all use our needles several times. You don't use a needle and throw it away.
Do you have an estimation on the prevalence of HIV and hepatitis among injecting drug users in Lebanon?
I would say the prevalence is reported as low. I think that the problem that we have are low rates of testing. Hepatitis C infections is an issue, though. In our service, we have around anywhere, depending on the year, between 15 to 30% positives. Schoon is an outpatient treatment clinic. We also offer substitution therapy using buprenorphine. We do primary and secondary prevention, interventions in schools, universities, and communities. We also provide harm reduction services. And we do recently have been working on advocacy and lobbying for better drug policies in Lebanon. We provide voluntary counseling and testing to the people at our service, drug users, but we also have made it available to the community at large. So we receive a lot of young people coming in for HIV testing that are not necessarily drug users.
The services to raise awareness regarding HIV transmission through sexual behavior is increasing now. Not only the services, but the information, and this is a partnership and collaboration between different organizations.
We only have Subutex, and we don't have methadone, and Subutex is only available here in Schoon. You don't have a choice but to come here if you want to be treated in a different way. If you don't want to be treated like a sick person all the time.
Buprenorphine was just made legal in Lebanon. We're very happy. This is a great achievement for us. So we are waiting now, the NGOs and the treatment and hospitals and private practitioners are waiting for the permission to start prescribing.
Do you think it would have helped you if it's available, like methadone maintenance program in Lebanon?
From before?
Yeah.
Of course. I didn't even know it existed. Like to a certain point, I didn't know that such medicines existed. I think the first time I saw it was in a movie.
What does the law say about drug use?
In 1998, the Lebanese drug laws were revised, and in it stated that they decriminalized addiction but kept drug use illegal. But it was a huge step forward for us, especially since I think our drug laws hadn't been changed since the French Mandate. In 2009, our police force arrested 2,228 people for drug use alone, not any other charge with that, just drug use. Around the majority of those people were between the ages of 16 and 25. At the prison, they report that 30% of people incarcerated are there on a drug-related charge. Every judge who has a person in their court on a drug-related charge must ask the person, would you like to go for treatment as opposed to going to jail?
If you're caught and sentenced, let's suppose it's your second time, you're sent to prison. And in prisons, there's no access to any medicines, medical care, psychological follow-up. There's nothing.
We have this lovely law that of course has also problems, but they didn't create the facilities to implement the law. And that shows you that they're just kind of paying lip service. We initiated a campaign working with judges and police force asking where is this law and why isn't it being implemented?
From my experience, I think those who get caught, you're only sending them further into addiction. The minute you sentence someone to prison, they could be university students, they could be professionals, they could be people with jobs, with a future. The minute you sentence them to prison, you've put a real heavy weight on their future. And it's unnecessary. I don't think it should be even part of the police duty to deal with drug users and addicts.
These punitive drug policies, I think the only thing that they've managed to do is increase drug use, make illicit traffickers richer, and keep drug users on the sidelines and marginalized.
I personally did a research with 31 young women, and if you read their statements, they all been offended by drug enforcement, by law enforcement agent because of their drug use, offended verbally, offended physically, and offended sexually. One of the girls that we met in prison said, "I lost my dignity here in this prison." So this should not happen for them, because we need to save them and we need to understand that this is not the place they should be.
The moment you're caught, being a woman is a disaster, because it's very possible that you're getting raped. It's very possible that you're going to be treated even harder than a man, because how come is it that you're a woman and that you take drugs?
As much as Lebanon is a quite open country and an accepting country, there's still a lot of stigma attached to drug use, even more for injecting drug use. And we need to work on that to make the interventions better and allow for people to come forward to ask for help.
In Lebanon, a drug user is either a sick person or a criminal, and he can't have any choice.
If you're an addict, you should have, it's an obligation to the state to provide institutions, centers, medicine, psychologists, specialized and trained, not only special, properly and suitably trained people to provide treatment for addicts without any criminal aspect.
Do you think that the social movements we can witness now in the region will have a positive impact on harm reduction situation in your country?
I hope so. I think that I see that it's the young people rising up. This is the way I see it. And I think that young people will have a better understanding of what harm reduction is instinctively, not really labeling it as harm reduction. And I think they would be more open to these types of interventions.
I think what we are witnessing nowadays will bring more human rights in the region, and we're ready also as a Menara to provide technical assistance for the countries that are in need to implement or to work on this.
We need to put more efforts into HIV prevention, because we are still relatively a low prevalence country. So if we act now, we're really positioned to keep it maybe there at that low prevalence. And I would like to see also more investment in young people, not just within the context of harm reduction and drug use, but really more investment in general.